Hello everyone, I'm Rhoda and this is Rhoda Cards. Thank you for joining my tutorial today. Today I'm going to show you this really cool pop-up heart card. Now I've made this an anniversary card with the grays because I think gray just really goes with anniversary because I want to make it good for guys as well as girls. I've also made this for Valentine's cards, so you can change the color coordination. You could do it as birthday, whatever you wanted to do, and use whatever colors you want to use. So let me show you what we're going to use for this particular card today. I'm using two different stamp sets from Close to My Heart. I'm using this one. I'm using the Celebrate from this stamp set, which is the Color Your Life. And I'm also using this stamp set. I'm using the Congratulations and Happy Anniversary. And this is also card captions. These were both Stamp of the Month stamps from Close to My Heart. You also need a bunch of punches. Now, if you've watched any of my videos in the past, you know I really like punches. And I use a lot of punches in my cards. So I've used a lot of different heart punches. You don't have to use heart punches. You could use dies. But I really like my punches, and so I'm using these punches today. I'm using the 2 3/4 inch scallop heart punch, the 2 3/8 inch heart punch, 1 7/16 inch heart punch. This one I measured myself and I came up with 15/16 inch. It doesn't have the size on the punch anywhere. And this little tiny heart punch here, I have no idea what the size on this one is, but it's a little tiny one. And it makes a very, very small heart. So those are the punches that I'm going to use today. And you'll need some cardstock. My base is a white base. It's 8.5 by 5.5. You can score it at 4 1/4 because we're going to fold it in half. You don't have to score it, but you can. We're also going to need a 6 by 6 piece of cardstock. We're going to be folding this one too, which we'll get to in a few minutes. I have a mat that I'm going to use, which is 5 3/8 by 4 1/8, and a piece of pattern paper, another piece of cardstock at 4 1/4 by 4. And this is going to go on the front. So first I started by folding my base. You can score it at 4 1/4 and fold it, or just fold it, but that's the base. Now I'm going to show you how to start working on the inside of the card, the pop-up part. I don't use any dies for this pop-up. I did see this on a video a while back. I believe it's an Indian woman, and her last name is Patel, I think. I don't really know how to pronounce her name. But I believe her name is Patel. So I wanted to make sure I got her name in there because I saw this from her. I adjusted the measurements, and again, I'm using punches, and she hand cut everything, which I thought was pretty cool, but I like using my punches again, so I decided to do that. So taking my 6 by 6 piece of cardstock, you're going to fold it. And you want to fold it in half one way. Give it a good crease. Then you're going to fold it, open it. So we folded it one way, this way. Now open it and fold it again this way. Basically in half, both directions. I give a good crease to everything because this is cardstock, so it can not fold quite as easily. Then you're going to fold it diagonally. So corner to corner. Again, a good crease. And then you're going to fold it diagonally the other way. Okay, so you've got a whole bunch of diamonds in here, but again, you're going to fold it in half, and then in half, and then diagonally. So diagonally this way, and then diagonally this way. Now, when you're going to fold it together, and two of the sides, whichever two, it doesn't matter whether it's these two, or these two, you're going to fold in. So take two of them and you're going to fold them in like that. All right, so I'll show you again. You've got the square, turn it diagonally, and two sides, you're going to fold that middle piece in, and then fold the top piece down, so you've got this square. And I burnished these really good. Now, what I did before I started was I made myself a template, which I folded all of this down on just regular copy paper. And then you can draw, you can trace, whatever, this little curve to make our heart. So that's what you're doing with this. We're going to make a heart out of this. So you have to fold it. Now we've got our little square. You want to fold it over so all of it is down together. And this is the middle part. That's where all of the paper joins, this corner. So you want to make sure that you've got your crease here where it all bends over, and this is where all the paper joins. And then I just took this, you're going to lay it down on that crease. You want to make sure, again, that you've got the crease where all the paper joins down here. You don't want to cut that apart because then it'll all just fall apart. It won't be connected. And this is the crease here where it's all connected. And then I just took a pencil and I traced this. You can start by just drawing the heart yourself at the beginning and make a template like this, or you can just hand draw it each time. I can't hand draw every time, so that's why I did one and then I just traced it. Then take you a good pair of scissors and we're going to cut along this line of our heart. Now, again, you need a good pair of scissors because there's a lot of cardstock folded over here. And you want to make sure that you can cut through all of it. And it can be a little difficult, but there we go. So, there's our heart. And the whole thing opens up just like that. So we've got that part done. Now we need to work on the other parts. Now, when you put this in the card, you're going to put it in the card so the sides are down, and this is going to go against the top part of your card and the bottom part of your card. So when you open the card, it's going to open like this. So these two pieces need to fold, but these two pieces don't. The up and down ones don't need to fold, but the side ones do. So when we add these other pieces in, you need to fold them so that there's a crease. So when the whole card folds shut, these will fold as well. So I just took these and I just folded them in half. I lined up the little scallops on this little heart and I just folded this in half. So there's one. And again, here's the other one. You only need two. I didn't fold the other ones, but I did fold two of them. So there's those. Now we also need to do the same thing with these hearts. So these two hearts you need to fold in half as well. And again, you only need two of them. The other two don't need to fold. So there's one. And here's two. All right, so this is the way I put them together. I'm going to turn the one that folds to the top, and then we're just going to stick that right down. You want to make sure that this fold lines up with the fold on the dark heart right along the crease so that it folds together. If you don't line that crease up, it won't fold all the way, and then it will be off and the fold won't be crisp. My tape runner's getting all over everything here. All right, so we just line this up along the crease, and then I'm going to turn around and do the same thing with this one. Again, we're going to line that one up along the fold and make sure it folds. And we'll give it another crisp crease with the bone folder here in a minute. And we're going to do the same thing with this heart. Line that up, center it, and line it up with the crease. Do the same thing with this side. Okay, so there's that. Now, the other two, like I said, don't need to be folded, so we can just glue those down. I just centered them up, glued that down. Centered that up. Okay. So now I stamped Happy Anniversary on the two hearts that went in here. So I'm going to go ahead and do my stamping next. And using the clear stamps, you want to use a foam mat, which is what this is. Extra scrap paper there. Now, if you're going to put Happy Anniversary on this like I did, one of the hearts is upside down. So if you want to put Happy, you put Happy at the top, right side up, but the bottom one, you're going to have to stamp it on the heart so it's upside down. That way when they open it, it will be right side up. Where did my stamp pad go? There it is. I just covered it over. Sorry about that. I was sitting here and then all of a sudden it wasn't sitting here. So there's my two hearts. So I'm going to put Happy at the top and Anniversary at the bottom. Again, make sure that this heart is upside down or it won't say it right when you open it. Okay. So the Happy is going to go at the top, Anniversary is going to go at the bottom. And again, I just center that in there and do the same thing with the Happy. Okay, so the middle part of the card is done now. Now I will take my bone folder to that in a minute. Now I'm also going to stamp on this piece. This is where I put the Celebrate on the front. I'll take my Celebrate stamp. Now when you're stamping, if you twist and tap, you can get a lot more coverage on your stamp than just tapping. And I'm going to center that and stamp that right on there. And that's the celebrate part. Then I'm going to take this part and let me close up my stamp pad so I don't stick my hand or anything else in that. And I'm going to put it on this right here. Then I'm going to center that right on here. I did this so that it has a little bit of gray around the edges. And then this is the base. This is the base here. And what I did with this is I have that congratulations that I stamped. This is the congratulations, and I stamped it right at the top instead of at the bottom. I figured if I put this at the top, you can write your sentiment down at the bottom or sign it down at the bottom. So I just put this right up here at the top. There we go. So there's the congratulations at the top. I'm going to flip this around and we're going to put this on here. And put that right there at the top. Now I glued these three hearts together, and I'm going to put these down here in the corner. You can add whatever bling you want to add. You can put anything on here you want to put on here. I just wanted to add the little hearts. I didn't put too much on it. I wanted it to be a little bit plain on the front because it's so cool on the inside. So that's why I didn't put a whole lot of stuff on the front. And again, I try to make these, if it's anniversary, I try to make it something that's kind of neat for a guy as well as a girl. Women and men, because that way they can both enjoy it. And if there's too much bling or glitter or whatever on it, guys don't like it. That's what my husband tells me. So I'm taking my bone folder and I'm just scoring, making these creases crisp, doing a little burnishing here, because you want this to be able to fold really well when you open and shut the card. Now when you go to glue this down, make sure you put it in here right so that the happy is facing up and the anniversary is facing down. I just centered it right here in the middle of my card. And you want to put the point up against the fold. Don't cover over the fold. Don't push it past the fold here, because then your card won't fold. So put it up against the fold and centered right in the middle of the card, and we will glue this down. Now use a pretty strong glue because this opens and closes a lot, and you want to make sure it holds when you open and close it. So I just put the glue on it and I just cover and shut the card. Put the top of the card down, and then I hold that for a few seconds. I'll flip it over. Do the same thing on the back here. And close that. And then if you want to give it a few minutes, I just take something heavy like my punch and put that on the top to hold it down for a minute or so. And that will help hold it until the glue dries. Because you want to make sure that the glue dries before you start opening and closing it, because then it'll fall apart on you. You don't want it to fall apart. So we'll let that sit for a minute, too. And then, if you have quick drying glue, then you should be able to open it and see it. And that's our card. I think this is pretty neat, and it's actually really not hard. It's not very difficult to make. The hardest part is just cutting out the cardstock after you folded it all together. I think that's the hardest part. So thank you so much for joining me today. I hope you've enjoyed this tutorial. I hope it gives you something to work on. I hope you would like to give it a try. If you'd like to order any of the products that I've used today, you can go to Close to My Heart and check it out. Products kind of come and go, so I'm not sure. I don't actually think these stamp sets are available to order right now, but we have a lot of really cool stamp sets out there that you can use. And I hope you give this card a try. Thank you so much for joining me, and I hope to see you at the next video. Goodbye.